represent South Africa in the Miss Universe event on the 14th of January in the US. She is also expected to pay homage to the rise of Africa as the continent continues to influence pop culture globally. Nokeri this week revealed her farewell gown and national costume for the 71st Miss Universe pageant at New Orleans in Louisiana. For more on this, we are joined by Miss SA herself, Ndavi Nokeri. Ndavi, welcome. Thank you so much for being here.
It's an
absolute pleasure to have you here. It's been just over 4 months since you were crowned Miss South Africa. How's that experience been? It's gone by so quickly.
Oh my gosh, I can't believe, like you're saying now, it's 4 months. I can't believe it. It's gone so fast, but it's been incredible, you know. There's been so much growth, and I've gotten to meet a lot of people, which I love because, you know, just being able to experience different cultures and different personalities has been so amazing. And the platform has given me an opportunity to network with those type of people.
And I'm sure the platform has given you opportunities for other things as well, because when you came in, one of your main objectives was to highlight the inequality in education.
Yes.
How have you used this platform in highlighting that ill?
I think the power of this platform is that it gives you a space to raise awareness. I think with what I've spoken about inequality, a lot of people have become aware that this is what's prevalent in South Africa, and also become aware of what they can do in their different areas to help with, you know, the issue at hand. And it's also given me access to corporates who are now willing to partner with us to combat this situation. So I'm very happy that, you know, I've gotten the ground going and we've got some work going, yeah.
And this came about because you are a young lady from the village,
yes,
but you were privileged enough to experience schools that exposed you to more resources.
Yeah.
Is that what really inspired for you to say the other kids who were in the village that didn't have those experiences should be able to be afforded such?
Absolutely, that is my story, and I always share it because, you know, there's always power in our stories, and it's what drives our passion. And that's what I experienced, you know, in the village of Gabaza. I got to go to the schools. I got to see the difference in what my future came out to be. It is because of my education that I'm sitting here today as Miss South Africa, the way that I can, you know, express myself, communicate the things that I'm passionate about. And it's something that we can take for granted, but it makes a difference. But not only in that, before I became Miss South Africa, I also worked in corporate, but also going back to having the opportunity to get the education. So that's why for me it's so important to make sure that the opportunities that exist in, you know, in the cities or the urban areas and the resources that are there, we take them back to every corner, every township, every village should have the very same access.
Speaking about coming from corporates, a lot of the times when we look at beauty queens, it's not quite often that we think that a beautiful lady would be in the financial services sector doing the things that you are doing. How are you able to dispel those stereotypes?
I think by just being, you know, I think we're showing people that we can do it all as women. There's no need to box us in certain spaces, telling us what we can and cannot do. And I think for a very long time, a lot of people think that pageantry is just about what you look like. But I think over the years, we've shown that, no, we are women with so much potential. We can do so many things, but we choose to use this platform for leadership.
Most certainly.
Yeah.
Speaking about using a platform for leadership, you are going to the 71st Miss Universe. You're leaving in December, but the pageant is only on the 14th of January. And of course, the national costume is always what kickstarts everything in terms of the conversations in the country. We saw yours at your farewell this last Tuesday, and there was so much influence of you as a young African woman, but most importantly as a young Tsonga woman. How important was it for you to be able to infuse all of that in this costume?
You know, the costume and how it, you know, came out when the final product was out was everything that I imagined it to be. And I think for me, as I've always shared about my being Tsonga, you know, that is something that I'm very proud of because it shaped who I am, you know. The way that I'm amiable in the spaces that I go into, I think that is a Tsonga characteristic that I carry, as well as my vibrancy and loving, you know, color. I'm sure you've seen. Yeah, you've seen with our music and the clothing that we wear. It's always express that we love diversity and vibrancy. And so just being able to showcase that on an international stage, it really means so much to me, because growing up, I never saw that being done. I never saw my culture being represented. You know, when I turn on the TV, we were always hearing other languages, but never a Tsonga language. So I love that I get to show other young girls who may feel misrepresented or underrepresented that they also belong on global platforms, whatever that may look like for them.
Do you believe as a country, though, we are making strides in ensuring that inclusivity, especially when it comes to like the Tsonga and the Lavenda tribes, are more represented?
Yeah, I think there's a lot that we can still do, but I am definitely seeing it more, especially on TV, because that's where we see ourselves. That's the only space where we see, you know, people living a life that we hope to see ourselves in. And I definitely do see the progress, but there's always more that can be done.
Of course. Going back to the Miss Universe contest, I mean, it took 2 months for you to be able to prepare the costumes, because it's not just the national costume, it's also the gowns that you'd be wearing as well on the night. How much preparation were you supposed to embark on in order for you to be ready for this contest?
So I'm still in preparation for the contest, and I'm grateful that I have a team who helps me with, you know, the gowns and the costumes and the message that I'm trying to portray to the world. And I think what's beautiful is that when we bring our minds together, they get to express what I'm thinking, who I want to show them to be. Because, you know, you get people that are experts in different things.
Right.
As much as I carry the message and want people to see who I am, there's someone who knows exactly how they can portray that. So it's just great to have that support team that understands your message, that understands the type of, what can I call it, the type of impact that you're trying to make, and portraying that through the way that you dress, through the way that you show up in every single moment.
I'm sure you get asked this question quite a lot when it comes to the role and the relevancy of pageants in this day and age, because obviously over time pageants have had to evolve. What's the evolution for you when it comes to pageant, and what impact are pageants meant to play, especially for young women in our society?
I think we're all seeing the evolution in pageantry, and it's so beautiful to see that it's really shifted from being just about what you see physically and, you know, the objectification of women, but more to a space where, for me personally, it's a space where I learned to be confident. You know, I've always believed that to become something, you have to put yourself in the position to be that thing. So for me to gain confidence, I had to stand on a stage and trust in myself and believe that I'll be able to do it and to express myself fully. And I think that's what it's doing for women. It's teaching them confidence, but also helping them make their own choices, you know, because a lot of the times people are trying to discourage us from going into pageantry. But when we go into the spaces, we show them that we are choosing this, and because we understand that we can make an impact from doing this. And I think that is so powerful.
It certainly is. And I think another role that women need to be aware that they can play is beyond the borders of South Africa.
Absolutely.
And we know that with your national costume, there's an element of all the states that are on this continent.
Yes.
How important is it for women to know the role that they can play on the rest of the continent?
I think it's an important role that we can all play, men and women. And I think what I've seen is that as Africans, there's so much that we share, you know, our history, even though we are divided in terms of our locations, when we come together, it's only through the experiences that we've had that you can tell the difference. But other than that, at the core of who we are, the values that we share, the things that we appreciate in life are so similar. And so that's why I wanted to showcase that unity, and that, you know, to bring us back together and to remind ourselves of where we come from.
Lastly, the pressure of bringing the crown home. I mean, we've seen these Ozidinis of this world bringing the crown back to South Africa, and your demis. Are you receiving any of that pressure? Are you prepared for it?
I think, you know, it's only natural to have the pressure, because, you know, you want to make your nation proud. Being Miss South Africa, being a representative of South Africa, it's such an honorable position, you know, and so obviously I feel the pressure, but I'm excited to take it on. I'm also encouraged by knowing that other women from South Africa could do it, you know. So that actually motivates me, and it shows me what is possible. So it pushes me to walk in their footsteps and to believe in myself, because if they could do it, then I believe I can too.
You certainly can, Ndavi Nokeri. You're one beautiful woman with a great mind. Thank you so much for joining us this evening, and we wish you all the best for next year.
Thank you so much.